Hey everybody, good Monday morning. I'm back off vacation and ready to rock and roll. Getting set for the week. It's Monday. So the topic this week, let me just see here. So the topic today, the message that was sent out to the groups this morning, and what I'll be working on in regards to the education component. So again, in the education component, which is the private group, Facebook group, for those of you that are in the traditional inSight services, so not including the 8-week blast off. We're going to be, again, focusing on the science side of things, the kind of metabolism, the nutrition end of stuff, whereas these are more insightful. These are, connecting the dots, so to speak, because the information is useless without the application, and the application is dependent on the drive, the being able to kind of see all the components as one and how to place them together. So, having a big pile of puzzle pieces is just half of it. The other half is putting it together. So I feel personally, that's how I felt in nutrition for many, many, many years. And still to this day, I'm still putting the puzzle together. And it gets frustrating at times where you've got this pile of puzzle pieces and you can't quite find the one that fits. But there is one in there that does fit. The trick is to not give up and look for it, which is a great segue into this morning's message and kind of how I'd like to lead off this Monday is, progress as opposed to perfection, right? We tend to look at what we can't do. We tend to look at, all the issues and, if you can't do it perfect, then it's not worth doing it all. And I see this both in nutrition and in fitness. If I can't exercise an hour, then I'm not going to exercise. If I can't walk for an hour, then I'm not going to walk. If I can't follow the meal plan, the nutrition plan, then the whole day is shot, right? So it's kind of twisting the knife, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, whatever analogy you want to use. And that mindset is destroying our progress. It's destroying our ability to evolve and get better because, again, perfection, there's languages out there, there's cultures that don't even have a word for perfection because perfection doesn't exist. So why would we even label something? Why would we have a word for something that doesn't even exist? And it makes sense, right? Here in our culture, we have this ideology that health is perfection, that you have to do things absolutely perfect all the time, every day, and the amount of stress that's put on top of us makes the idea of health, the modern idea of health, as insurmountable. It's just not possible. And others portray it as possible. We have these Instagrams and this, that, and the other of people in these moments, and you're not seeing the moments in between and the mistakes that they've made and what it took for them to get there. We see the polished product, finished product, but we don't see the effort and the journey in between. And that's the beauty of inSight. It's about showing the journey. It's showing people's imperfections to make them actually relatable. And then when they do make progress, you're able to visualize yourself doing the same. You're able to relate to that person and see that if they're capable of it, so are you. So it is about progress over perfection. There is no perfect way of doing it because it's got to be your way. Everybody's heading in the same direction, but we all need to get there our own unique way. Whether I get there by boat or train or plane or car or walk or bike, it doesn't matter. It's my preference how I want to take this journey, but the destination remains the same for all of us. We're all looking for a quality of life that is uniquely ours, and we need to develop that quality of life during the process. It's not something we find ourselves in. It's something that's discovered, something that is actively sought after. And that's what inSight is about. And the importance of these messages, the importance of this, silly little podcasts that I do, and the importance of the educational page, the importance of the meal plans, or nutrition plans, as I call them, the importance of paying attention and tracking your macros and having these goals and these points on the horizon, these compass bearings, to allow us to have direction, right? But not with the intent of controlling what it is that we see or that you see, right? Allowing you to have this adventure, to take this journey and develop yourself in every capacity, because as I've said a bazillion times, health isn't just what you eat, it's what you think. It's how you live your life. It's your daily habits, right? They are contributory to your health. They are the bricks that build this castle, this structure, this life, the brushstrokes that we take that create this masterpiece, right? None of that outcome can happen without laying the bricks, without taking the brushstrokes, okay? So that's the everyday. That's the point of, the progress aspect of it. If you haven't been tracking your macros, track your macros, right? Do it more, try, get better at it, right? Send me them, once a week, and then work up to 2 times a week. You know what I mean? Like, set higher expectations for yourself, right? Because no one's going to push you to get there. You need to push yourself. You need to take accountability, right? You need to want this as much as you don't want where you are, okay? There needs to be driving forces from both, right? There needs to be something pushing you from behind, and there needs to be something pulling you from in front. So making these, Monday morning goals where, okay, this week I'm going to weigh myself every morning, or this week I'm going to drink my water. This week I'm really going to pay attention and follow my nutrition plan. This week I'm really going to track my macros, everything, including the stuff that I'm not proud of, because what I'm going to see is that there has been progress. What I thought was a total write-off of a week or weekend actually wasn't so, because the numbers are showing me different, right? Maybe I'm too emotional. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, right? Nobody in this community should be hard on themselves, okay? Demanding more from yourself is not being hard on yourself. If I demand more of my clients, if I demand more of my employees, if I demand more from my children, it's because I know they're capable of it. It's because I trust them with more responsibility, right? Because I believe that they're greater than what they're than what they're currently at right now. That they could be better. I see people's potential, right? And I believe that they can become that. The same way as if every day I told someone that they were ugly, eventually they'd start to believe that. The converse is true. The opposite is true, right? If I tell someone every day that they're beautiful and that they're capable of great things and that they can be healthy, then, right? What's the problem, right? It works both ways. It's a two-way street, but yet we tend to just focus on the things that we didn't do, things that we, haven't accomplished, and we berate and beat ourselves back and set ourselves up for failure. Because why? I wasn't perfect. Well, guess what? I'm not perfect. The people that you aspire to be like, the people that you emulate, they're not perfect either. So if you're striving for perfection, then you're actually going in the opposite direction of the people that you're visualizing, the people that you use as an example for success, for health, for whatever it is that you're whatever room you're renovating at this point, right? My body's not perfect. Do I want to make improvements? Absolutely. But do I look in the mirror now and hate myself like I did before? Absolutely not. So there's a lot of progress there, and I've got a lot further to go, and I plan on progressing with every year. I'm 48 years old, and I plan on progressing, into my 49th year, feeling better than I did in my 48th, right? Feeling like I've accomplished something, and that won't ever stop for me. With every passing year, every passing day, I wake up, I acknowledge my faults, my weaknesses, right? My inconsistencies. I acknowledge them. I don't focus on them. And I use them as purchase points. Okay, this is what I failed at yesterday. This is. So I do it from a positive perspective, thinking, okay, that's what I'm going to improve upon today, right? Right. Yesterday, I backed down from a conversation. I told someone something that they wanted to hear, not what they needed to hear. I didn't drink enough water. I said I was going to go work out, and I didn't get there. Right? Like, there's all kinds of things even in my day that I'm taking note of that I'm looking to improve upon for the next day. So I might not hit all those things. I may say something to someone that isn't authentic or transparent, right? But there may be other things that I managed to accomplish, and then eventually working my way through that list. I have a to-do list. And the reason why I have a to-do list, and I do this to-do list, it's continuing. So it's not like to-do list for today or this week or this month. It's just the to-do list, and it's a list of things, and I just flip from page to page to page once I fill the page out. But as ideas and things and improvements, things, objectives of mine, things that I want to do, right, aren't always about, Neil, you got to mow the lawn today. Okay, I did that. It's about things about myself as well, right? Be more authentic. Oh, you know what? I did that. I had the opportunity today, and hypothetically, to, tell someone something that they wanted to hear versus something that they needed to hear. And I chose the high road, and I told them what they needed to hear. So I will literally cross that off with red ink. I will, right? Because what it shows me when I look back, it shows me that I lived in my day, that I was here, that I got something accomplished. It's a sign of progress, right? It's a sign of growth. And that's where tracking and sending your check-ins and those types of things, it's the same. I check in with myself. I hold myself accountable, and I've learned to do this over many, many, many years, and a lot of help from other people, such as yourselves, right? My clients, in regards to holding me accountable, right? If I'm asking you to do something, it's because I'm willing to do it myself. I would never ask anybody to do something that I myself was unwilling to do. So, progress is the mantra for today, all right? It's what we're all striving for. I want you guys to remove perfection out of your vocabulary, okay? We have progress. We have moments of greatness, but those are moments, and the progress isn't linear. As you see, like even stepping on the scale, down 2 pounds one day, up 1.6 the next. But it's about the trajectory, okay? Growth is not linear. Development is not linear, right? In previous messages, even over the weekend, I talk about failure and how failure is the key to success, right? Those weaknesses, those flaws, guys, everything that we don't do is really the opportunity for growth. It's everything that we can do, right? If we're doing something, we can't redo it. We can't, that's not the focal point. When I was a personal trainer, I didn't focus on people's strengths. I focused on their weaknesses, created a more balanced, more well-rounded individual. It's the same in your own personal life and in your nutrition. If you struggle with water, if you struggle with consistency, these are the things, these are your purchase points. These are the areas that you focus on. It's not the stuff that you avoid. I hate sending in my macros. Well, that means you need to send them in that much more, because obviously that's a sore point for you. That's a weakness, right? It's like a body part. Neil, I hate doing my legs. Well, guess what? We got to do your legs. And then as your legs develop, you notice that your upper body develops and you become more athletic, right? More stable in your environment from a physical standpoint, right? And then eventually you enjoy doing legs because of the fact that you've seen so much growth and development, and you see now how it contributes to your upper body. It's